been reflecting on how I came to know the Lord, and yeah, my journey's been really poignant. And the first that comes to mind is that I remember when I was 17, going to be 18, so just before my 18th birthday, I remember going to a bar, and that was a night, that evening changed my life. And what happened at that bar is that there was a shootout in the main street, and as I was leaving the bar I happened to get caught in the crossfire, and so thankfully I was wearing long leather boots and trousers, so as they were firing out where I was standing, a ricochet, so a bullet had hit the ground and then hit my leg, and fortunately because I was wearing the leather boot and my jeans, it had helped to take some of the impact. So thankfully I didn't lose my leg or break a bone, but God literally protected me. But it was the beginning of God just saying, you know, you're young, but you're not invincible, and actually I have a plan for you. And I remember after that experience just thinking, oh my gosh, I could have died. And it was the same year where there were a lot of shootings, and there were twin sisters in Birmingham that went to a New Year's Eve party, and I think it was around 99, and they got killed straight out. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that could have been me, but you know, God spared my life. And shortly after that time, I didn't quite come to the Lord at that point, but I knew, my gosh, my life had been spared for a reason. I remember shortly after that I was in a long-term relationship, and when you're young you think it's going to be forever, and you know, that person you know, was in essence my God. And I remember that relationship came to an end, and I felt so depressed. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Who am I now? You know, I look back on it and I laugh, but at the time it was so serious. And I remember also what led to the bigger heartbreak is that we ended up getting pregnant. I had an abortion, so there were all these emotional attachments that just made me think, what is this? And I remember after it ending just having suicidal thoughts, thinking, do you know what, is life worth living? And this was at the age of 18. And I remember just being in such emotional pain after having these succession of events in my life, calling out to God and saying, you know, if you're real, like, tell me. I've grown up in the church, I've gone to church because I've had to go to church, but if you are real and you are this God who my mum talks about, then show me. And I remember literally I just felt just such a peace, and God comforted me in my room. And I remember shortly after that he began to just bring other Christians into my life that I never had a relationship with before, and they were just telling me simple things about the gospel and helping me to understand it in a way I've never understood it before, by going to a church and just sitting there and sleeping because I'd been raving the whole night before. So the word just began to become real in a way that I could never have imagined it. And God started to separate me from my old circle of friends where I'd go raving and do all those things. God was like, that's not my life for you, and I've preserved your life for a reason, and actually I'm going to call you to work with young people. I remember somebody praying over me and saying, you know, God has preserved you and he's going to use you to work with many young people. There's a reason why God has given you a scar on your leg. I would show it now, but it's going to be a bit awkward, but yeah, there's a reason why I've given you a scar. And I remember ever since that time I've used that as my passion to speak to other young people about not thinking that they're invincible and that, you know, nothing can happen to them, or that you can go around different circles and nothing will happen, because actually anything can happen. Like, nothing is guaranteed in life. So it just made me realize that one, God is in control, and to use your skills for the Lord. And in surrendering my life to him, he's just literally, I've been a Christian for about 20 years now, but he's just used me to speak into the lives of so many young people. I work with a lot of young people that go to pupil referral units that are broken, but because of the experience I had in the past, I'm able to connect with that, understand what life is like on the street, see it literally as every time I come in contact with a life, God is using me to give them a lifeline, to show them that there's hope and that you're not what other people say that you are, or what the state says you are, and just to, you know, increase their mental strength, you know. So yeah, that's my testimony, and I'm still standing, but I know it's because of the Lord. It's not because I'm a great person, but it's because of God's grace that he keeps me going, he keeps me trusting him. Yeah, so yeah, I just love God and just say, give him a try.